How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Kedman Sports. Today we are creating team number 20 in Doug Flutie's Maximum Football 2019, and this one's going to be kind of a hometown favorite for me. I'll be making the Tiffin Tech Hydras. If you are familiar with Tiffin, which you probably aren't, there are two universities in Tiffin, Heidelberg University and Tiffin University. And so the town is pretty much a college town at this point. And I've already kind of used Heidelberg University's colors when I made Ohio A&M. So this Tiffin Tech team, although if you would make a Division I football team, it would take up both schools, is going to pretty much stay true to Tiffin University. Tiffin University is the Dragons, which is, you can kind of see the inspiration there in the logo. And the colors are going to be rather similar as well. So the city, as I said, will be Tiffin. School name will be Tiffin Tech. Team name will be the Hydras, and then abbreviation will be TIF. And then, as I kind of mentioned there, the main color to go along with the logo is going to be a dark green. It's going to be a 50 set green, and then the gray is going to be a 175 gray for all three there. So we'll randomize the stadium, and then we'll transition over to the uniform. So with the uniform, we'll start with the helmet as always, and we're going to put the logo on first. So the logo turns up on page 2 here, so we'll throw that on both the right and the left side. Nothing really special what we're going to do with the logo or anything like that, just put the logo we're using as the main logo on it. So for the helmet color, I'm going to try to put the green on it. I've done a lot of white helmets already. I don't want to really do another one. Kind of the same thing with gray. Whereas green I really haven't done a whole lot with. I actually don't even know if I've made a green team yet. So I want to try to do as much green in this uniform as we can. So we're going to put the green on the helmet there, and it actually looks pretty good since the logo comes with that white outline. And for the face mask, for now I'm going to put it as green, but I might change that depending on what it looks like with the stripe. Because for the stripe, I'm just going to make it one solid kind of gray stripe, using both the single and the double to make almost like a bold stripe through the whole helmet, taking up pretty much the whole center. So it kind of will look a little different from some of the more recent helmets we've done, where we've used the either no stripe or done kind of a standard triple stripe. This one's just going to be that single bold stripe. And looking at the helmet, I am going to change the face mask to gray this time around, just to kind of make it look a little different. I think the green blends into the helmet a little too much, and that gray just kind of pops off a little bit more. So then transitioning over to the uniform, we'll pick the font first. And again, I'm just trying to find a font I haven't used recently. Just kind of go through all of them. The Oswald font's one that I don't know if I've used at all, and if I have, it wasn't recent. So we'll use that one for this uniform, and we'll put Hydras across the chest. And then we'll transition to the normal color of the uniform. As I said, I'm going to try to use as much green in this uniform as I can, so we're going to make that both the jersey and the sleeves. If you're familiar with Tiffin University, they use this kind of almost the same green here, but they use a gold accent color for a lot of their uniform. Also, kind of think of like UAB. It's kind of that color scheme. So for this uniform, since we're not using gold and we're using silver, I'm going to use silver quite frequently in this uniform, and it's actually going to turn out as we go along to start to look like Eastern Michigan's uniform, since Eastern Michigan uses that silver gray color on top of a really dark kind of forest green. They're one of the few teams in college football that are Division I that use that color scheme, so when you start to create with it, that's kind of what it starts to resemble. So the stripes, we're just going to do a double stripe with the gray with green in the center, and then for the collar we'll do gray as well for both the collar and the collar stroke. Then for the numbers, we're going to incorporate that gray again. We're going to use that as the number color, and then for the stroke we're going to keep the white, just to kind of give it a little bit of a border. I thought about putting the outline to the number gray as well and making it bold, but I think that would have looked a little too bland. The white kind of helps the number pop off the jersey a little bit better. So we're going to keep that through to the text as well across the chest, and make that the gray with the white outline. So then we'll transition over to the pants, and the pants are going to be gray as well. I think that having white pants would look okay, but the gray is just another way to incorporate the team colors into the uniform. with the pants and not making it look too overwhelming with color or anything like that. When you have a secondary color like a gray or black or anything like that, using it as much as you can in place of white can really help influence the audience per se or fan base to really use the primary colors versus a white or something that's pretty much in every single uniform. So then for the socks, we're going to use green for both the bottom and the top part, and then the stripes are going to be where we're going to incorporate gray into the home stock uniform. And then once you're done with the socks, we can transition over to the away uniform, which is going to be a lot more of the same. It's just going to be almost kind of inverted from what we've been doing. So instead of a green uniform, we're going to do a gray uniform and kind of stuff like that. So then we'll transition over and we'll put Tiffin Tech across the chest here. And then for the jersey color, as I said, this is a light enough gray that I think you can use it as the as the jersey color for your away uniform. It's closer to white than it is to black if you're thinking on a scale, so it doesn't really take away from anything. I think if you were to even play this against a team using dark gray uniforms, it would still look all right, just because it isn't a big difference. So then we're going to keep that gray through the sleeves as well, and then for the stripe, like I said, it's going to be kind of inverted, so we'll put gray in the center and we'll put that green as the double stripe on this uniform, pretty much flipping what we did on the home uniform. So then we'll be transitioning over to the collar. In the collar, I think I've said in previous videos, are kind of whether or not you want it to pop off the jersey or not, or if you want it to blend in. The New Orleans Saints away jerseys, they have a black collar and a white jersey, which I think kind of looks good, but most teams are gonna roll out in a jersey where the collar is the same color as the uniform, and there pretty much isn't a collar, it just blends in with the rest of it. So depending on what you prefer, you can kind of change that up. For this uniform, we're going to do a green collar to kind of just mix it up a little bit and add some color to the uniform. So then for the number color, keeping with the idea of basically flipping what we did on the home uniform, we're going to go with a green number color and then a white stroke, like I said on the home jersey, just to kind of help that number pop. I think if you did bold, kind of bolden the number with a double green, it would just kind of blend in with it and not really pop off and be a little difficult to read even. Whereas that white text helps it really kind of pull away from the rest of the jersey, and you don't get a really bland jersey that just kind of runs together. So then we'll transition over to the pants, where we're going to do green with a gray stripe down the pants, and this is just going to be the solid stripe like we did on the helmet. Now, there's a couple different routes you could go with this. If you want to keep it consistent throughout the jersey, you could make the pants a double stripe, or you could make the jersey a bold stripe if you want to keep everything kind of the same throughout. I don't think it makes a huge difference in this case. And then for the socks, we're going to flip that as well, making the socks gray on the bottom and top with green outline. So that'll conclude this team. That's team number 20. Thank you for watching as always. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. But as always, give a thumbs up, give a like, and turn on notifications for the rest of the teams that we will be creating.